In the heart of Old Town Amsterdam is one of the world's only legal red light districts. Its history of prostitution goes back centuries, and every year it attracts millions of visitors. I'm here to explore an occupation that many countries refuse to acknowledge, to reveal the ups and downs of life for women working as legal prostitutes, and to draw aside the curtain on the secretive world of paid-for sex at a time when the future of Amsterdam's red light district hangs in the balance.
And oh, Claire, you're going to learn so much today.
That's like a mask.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? To go over the face.
It comes with this thing. So, do you know what that's for?
No.
You know, some guys, they like to swallow it. And so you put this on their head, and then you put this through here and this in their mouth. And then you just...
Then you pee. Pascal is a professional dominatrix. She's been in business for 3 years.
I just wanted to see the shock on your face. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, you bitch. Ow! Ow! That was my hand! Oh, it's in my mouth.
Sue me. I just divorced my husband, and I had no money, and I was going more and more and more into debt. And then I was searching the internet just to see what was there, you know. And then I found this advertisement, this guy, and he offered 300 euros for somebody that would fart for him. So I thought it was a joke. So for a joke, I wrote him an email saying, for 300 euros, I would love to fart in your face. It was a very young boy. Like, I was 37 at the time, or 36, and he was a student of 22 years old. And the only thing I had to do was do some farting.
Okay, it's good. So what? So, darling. Wait to see where it changed.
It's the start of a working day in the red light district for Lena and Josje.
Oh my goodness, woman, yesterday... Oh.
Before they can begin, they need to check in at the office around the corner.
This problem is now he have to make it beautiful with all the lights.
Prior to legalisation in the year 2000, this kind of business would have been known as a brothel.
Hi, darling. How are you? I'm fine today, by the way. Yesterday when
We rent rooms to prostitutes. And that's what we do. We rent rooms.
When you know when I say, oh, darling, I'm not going to... Oh, you have a head.
I see every day 80 women.
Oh, just little bit.
We first have to make a copy of her passport. And then every day she has to rent again that she's voluntarily renting the room and that she received the room rental rules.
The rules state that only one customer is allowed at any time, and no drugs or loud music are tolerated.
At least it's something useful, the gloves. So.
A day shift in the red light district costs less than the busy night shift because the girls tend to earn less.
Minister.
Like a minister. Yeah.
Public indecency laws mean it's illegal to be naked in a window. If the girls are caught in an outfit that's too revealing, they can be fined over €2,000.
It will be great.
Yeah, I forget.
Nikki, wake up. Which time it is?
Lena and Josje get their keys and head off to work. that? What is that, a weapon? Or is it...
No. Otherwise they get lost.
I don't know what we do now.
Around the corner at House 59, the girls are about to set up shop for the day.
Darling, see you later. In a minute, actually. Oh, shit. Vedi che se non... Prima, to? Oof.
Do you have regular clients?
Yeah, a lot. Most of them.
How do they know to contact you?
By walking here. Yeah, so.
Do you have a website?
No website, nothing. They walk here and they can ask me questions, and of course if it's a regular client I give them my phone number so they can make an appointment.
Do they ever get a bit too close to you?
No, I keep my distance. So when I go from here, of course when I see somebody in the street and he walks alone and you see on the eyes that you can say hello, because you never know. Sometimes I meet a client in the supermarket and then I can say, hi, how you doing? And then suddenly his wife is behind him. And listen, and of course I can be a friend or something of somebody from work. But of course the woman immediately see that something wrong, because then the face of the man is totally changing.
Yeah.
Do you ever have that? Have you ever seen a...
All my clients, I always ask them, do you mind if I see you somewhere outside? Because, no, sometimes I see them and the thing is that I don't know if I have to say hi or not. And in case when they come all the time by you, it's a little bit shit if you're outside and you pretend you don't know them. That's why I always ask them, do you mind if, for example, I see you somewhere to say hi or not, then we make it clear between us. Yes, some of them, if I see them outside on the street, we sit and speak, you know, or in a Hill Street when I go, some of them hanging there, and sometimes I sit by them for coffee. But some of them I know that if I see them on the street, they prefer to don't tell them anything like hi, just nothing, because I have people, for example, who know them, you know, around and all this blah, blah, blah.
I work already here for a long time, but because we are a little bit cuckoo, and you have to be a little bit cuckoo to do this job. Actually, you need it, otherwise you're not going to survive. If they're interested, I have a newspaper between my door, so they can open it and ask me something.
As soon as Josia's ready, her first client comes and she asks us to leave.
You all have to go to another room.
Mom,
because you have
you mean to another room, you mean to my room. Something like that. And I'm sitting and sometimes at the end of the day I have so much pain in my ass. I said, Jesus Christ, from what I have that pain? And later I discovered that it's from fucking chair because I'm all day sitting.
I know, so you sit on one cheek, don't you? And then
Yeah.
the other leg is down.
I have to deal with that every day.
Wow, that is a pain. How do you deal with, like, it must get a bit boring when it's quiet.
I'm just reading books.
What are you
I do that all the time. Because I cannot imagine if I sit on the window and I do nothing. I just cannot. And this one, Secrets of the Lost Mode of Prayer. Yeah, this is very interesting book, by the way. I like this psychology and philosophy stuff. I just love it. And even in school, when I was one of the best of all these things. And I didn't need even to read what we have in school, because already I knew the things. But this is about if you're a little bit more able to think more deeply, you know?
Yeah.
And this depends what kind of experience you have in your life. I can say that I know myself quite well for my age. So I'm very happy with that, actually. Till before 2 or 3 years, I have so fucking hard life. I sleeping 1 year on the street in Bulgaria. Without nothing, without cents in my pocket for 1 year. This was fucking hell. I think if I didn't have strong psychic, me darling, till now I will finish, probably I will be on drugs, or probably I will be kill myself. Because if somebody take my life in Bulgaria, just 1 day of my life, believe me, they will not survive from the morning till the evening. Shit's happens, huh? Something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm happy with the small things and stupid ones, but many people, they cannot do that. And also, at some point, I tell you, sometimes I think, my goodness, I'm such a lucky. It's making me think in this way.
Lena's ready to start work, so I head back around the corner to the office to find out why they keep security so tight.
Yes, there are pins.
But you can see them sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Police run cameras help Jacqueline to keep a watchful eye over the streets around the office, including House 59.
Then it's already filmed from 3 different angles. We can see the people who come in, and we can also see who's behind them. It helps us when there's something wrong. We can see the alarm, because when we see the men coming in and out, the same men coming in and out all the time, then we say, sorry, but I think there's something wrong. At least we're gonna check the girl.
Pimping is a big problem. So-called lover boys pose as customers and use romantic techniques to lure the girls into handing over their cash. As well as potential pimps, the girls have to deal with difficult customers.
Sometimes I was a bit shocked, you know, especially when this guy was talking about that he went to Asia and that he had sex with his child, you know, and he was in my room sniffing cocaine, and I was just, you know, my ears were going, whoa, you know, and you don't know if you have to hate him for it, or if he's just pathetic, or if he's just high on coke and he doesn't know what he's doing, you know, or saying.
When the night shift begins in House 59, Laura takes over from Lena. She's also from Eastern Europe and came to Amsterdam 3 years ago. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Romania.
And did you work when you were in Romania?
Yeah, I got a normal job.
All right, what were you doing?
In the office. I was the right hand of the boss, and I do sometimes administration and these kind of things. For my age, for almost 28, I have almost 300 euro. For me, it was okay for my age, you know. And slow by slow, I'm gonna raise also the salary and also my position in that company. But I said, okay, I try to see how it is outside.
Over the years, Laura has developed her own approach to dealing with customers.
No, I'm friendly, but not more than I must to be, you know. I'm friendly, like to joke, to make the client to stay okay, to feel good, you know, but not more than that, because you give a finger and they take all the hand, you know. If you are nice and you try, okay, you laughing a little, this is a part of finger, you know, and they take all the hand. They start to say, give me your phone number, and they start to call you and call you and call you and send you SMS, and they make you crazy, you know. And I don't want to be part of that, you know.
So the first week that I worked in the Spuistraat, you don't have your regular clients yet, so you have to do a lot to make your money. You know, you have to attract them to look and to come in, and you have to do concessions as well, in the way like you want them to choose you. You know, so what's extra in it, you know, because they always try to get more for less money, or, you know. So when somebody comes at my doorstep and asks me, could you kick my balls? And I do everything to get my clients in. Of course I can kick your balls, honey. I mean, no problem.
For instance, I'm on somebody's birthday party, and I don't know everybody there, and somebody asks me, what do you do? And then I say, I'm a prostitute, I work behind the window in Amsterdam. Oh, everybody's going to be in shock in this room, because everybody knows that this is necessary, because there's so many men who visit the girls, but of course nobody wants it to be their own daughter. It's like that, I think. Yeah.
Tom is a customer of the red light district. He's one of the few men willing to speak openly about it.
Okay. I will make some coffee.
Thank you very much, that would be lovely.
I met a girl and we married and we got 3 children. And then we divorced and it was a good situation. I tried sometime, the first 2 years I tried with dating sites, but it was not, didn't give me satisfaction. And then I come to a moment, it fascinates me very much, the red light districts. If I want to experience that, I have to do it now, because otherwise I will be 80 and I will be too old for it.
For the last 8 years, Tom has travelled 120 miles twice a week to visit the red light district. He spends around €50 on the train fare, and a 15-minute session with a woman costs up to 70.
Some girls ask me, can you bring photographs of your children? And I have done that. And even one girl, no more than one, has asked, can you bring a photo of your ex-wife? I'm curious to know how she looked like. That's okay, I showed her a photo.
Tom prefers Amsterdam's red light district because of the special relationship he has with the women and the sense of community it offers.
Perhaps I can tell how I came to the idea to visit the girls. I was born in Amsterdam and I was born and I grew up in the Spuistraat near the red light district. And my mother told me that when I was 3 years old, that she walked with me also to the red light district, and the women from the windows came out of their rooms and, oh, what a nice boy, and they they find me nice. And it was so normal for me that there were red light districts and with the girls and there, and it was nothing special for me. Well, if my daughter should come one day to me and said, Dad, I want to work in the red light district, what do you think of that? I should not be panicked. I should only say, well, do you realize how difficult it can be, the work? I can say, I know some girls who have experience in the red light districts, first talk with them, with everything clean, and she really should like to do it. I should not be panicked now.
We have regular clients, and it's not really like, okay, it's quiet evenly with them, but still you have your regular clients, what is nice. Actually, sometimes it's funny that sometimes, because slowly you know which day, which person is going to come, and sometimes if you don't see them for a while, you always think, oh, what's happened now with this guy? I didn't see him a long time. And we think in the way not about the money, we think like, okay, maybe something is wrong with the person, you know, maybe sick, something like that. And it's very funny because sometimes you just miss them.
I think that the reason people come here is not only for sex, because maybe for 20% of the men who visit me, I have sex with. And most of them is talking, or I play, of course I have sex, but to be real, they don't fuck me. For instance, I play with them, so I have a lot of men I fuck with my strap on and tie them up or dress them up and do things like that. But I also have people just come for a massage and they don't even finish, they just want to sit here and just speak a little bit. So yeah, I think a lot of people are very lonely also. Yeah. But I also have clients. I work for a foundation with mentally and physically handicapped people. And there they call me a sex therapist. So when I say that on the birthday party, I'm a sex therapist, I work with mentally and physically disabled people, everybody's going to say, oh, well, that's interesting, but it is the same. But I also have somebody and he's 45 years old, but in his mind he's 6. because he thinks I'm his girlfriend and we're gonna get married. And of course they tell him 100 times, listen, you are not gonna get married to her. She's just come here so you can have nice sex. And they explain it and he knows it. But yeah, when I visit him there and we go upstairs to his room, he say, oh, we're gonna get married there. So you can tell him 100 times. It's not sinking in.
Sometimes Pascal's clients think they've fallen in love with her too.
You don't want to lose them as a client, but you don't want to give them false hope. And then I always say, okay, let's have a talk, you know, and I always, you know, take the time to talk to them and say, listen, we take a break now, or you don't come so often no more, you know, because this is not okay. You're like a junkie, you know, Pascal junkie, you know.
I have one client it's in a wheelchair. He can only move his head, and he just wants somebody to take a bath with. But his brain is perfectly fine. He also has a job with the government and he works with the computer. He can do that with his mouth. So he just wants somebody else to take him out of the bed, put him in the bath, you know, and just look at me naked. Of course, he cannot have sex, but that's not the point. He just wants somebody else for once in a month to do that.
A lot of the women I meet in the windows don't want to be seen on camera. They're not necessarily forced or pimped, but they are keeping their job a secret. The next time I meet Laura in House 59, she's in the middle of a crisis as a boy from her hometown has recognized her.
This weekend it passed somebody from my city and he see me. And the boy, it's young, it's something like 28, but it's that kind of boy, stupid boy who speak a lot, you know. And I see him, I try to hide, then he starts to scream in my door, Laura, I see you, I know. And I said, okay, he ruined all my fucking week, you know. Because I know he go and he gonna speak with a lot of friends, you know, oh, I was in Amsterdam, you know, who I see there, Laura.
One minute, yeah.
Exactly, because I know it's that kind of boy who speak. Because it's difficult to go to say to my father, who is 60 years old, to say, you know what I do this. You're not gonna judge me, you're gonna say, for today I don't want to see you anymore, you are a dead girl for me, you know, you're not my child. You're not gonna see me with the same eyes, you know. And I said, okay, I raise you good, you pass the school, you pass everything, why don't choose something else? Because the people judge you.
As many as half of women working in the red light district are from Eastern Europe. Lena was the only one who agreed to speak openly with me.
I don't care what the people think, because even if I care, what is the point? People always gonna speak no matter what you do. Even if you go in monastery, they're gonna say that you're fuck with the padre there. You're in fucking Amsterdam, why should nobody cares what you're doing and all these things? You're not in some small city, then everybody speak and blah blah blah, you know?
Going home to Bulgaria is not an option.
Problems with my mom. She's a little bit kind of conservative. So she know what I'm doing. She pretended she don't know, but of course she know. So it's quite hard if I want to go back there. I understand, but in other hand, it's like, I say, oh, Mom, come on, you know, you don't have to care what I'm doing. As much as I don't kill somebody or steal somebody or do some shit to somebody, doesn't matter what I'm doing, you must be happy if the things what I'm doing makes me happy. But she's not like that. She's just have her own opinion for the ways how you're supposed to be happy, and different opinion, it just doesn't exist for her. Then you're wrong. No matter what. At some point, she's always right. And for me,
In window prostitution, you work alone. There's no boss telling you what to do.
I have to work. So I was completely out of order the last few months, but now I think, okay, now this is enough. I have to put a little bit myself in a straight way. Me, since when I came here, the first half year I didn't know anybody. And me darling, now I know so many people and I have so much friends that sometimes for me it's quite hard to rest because of my social life. There was in my room.
I love a lot of my clients, have so nice clients, really. Yeah, this is good. And it's a man and he wants to dress up like a woman. on his dick is some kind of small thing, and I asked him, and it was very sensitive, and I asked him, okay, this is a little bit strange. Did you have an operation on it or something? He said that he was born with a pussy and a dick.
Oh,
so
no.
they just removed the pussy
Yeah?
parts. Hey, but he feels like he's a woman. So he's now in the wrong body. He's so happy with me because he can be a woman here, and yeah, then I just buy some skirts for him, and you know, he's so. But this is something that's serious, and I really love him because he's so nice.
This is, I had this slave. He was sick. Oh, I tortured him with this little thing. Fucker. His penis, when I took it off, it was like a horror movie. He had it on for 3 days, and certain bits were purple and like a crust and like hard, and he carried this thing around for 3 days.
Does he need to go to the doctor?
No. Do you want to see it? Oh. Well, this you put around your penis, if you have one. Then you have sizes for your balls, so you put this around your ball. And then there's a part which you can adjust, like small or bigger. He also had to sleep next to his girlfriend those 3 nights, you know, and his girlfriend, she didn't know. So he had this thing on, sleeping next to his girlfriend, and she was not supposed to know.
Darling, everybody have problem with money and all this stuff, you know, it's not only we. But the thing was that I become to the point when I get lazy, I start to come late, you know, and in the end I'm at the position that I don't have anything.
You know, if you're 25 years old and you never have friends or freedom or money, because before you have a serious time and you saved a little bit money. Yeah, and then she get into the party things and with the friends, and of course I understand it, it's normal.
Now, in case, okay, I spend all my money, it's fine, you know, but at some point I'm happy because that happened in this age, so now I still have the time to save and to organize my things. But this also could happen when I'm 50, and then what? Till now, because now I have the chance, probably till now, maybe I'm going to work something different. Now I have the possibility and chance to go and look for something different, but I just don't want. At the moment, maybe what we speak, I'm gonna look for part-time job, but not because of my job, because I want to be a little bit between different kind of people, but I'm not going to leave this job. Maybe it's gonna happen probably in a few years or whatever, depends. But maybe I'm never going to leave this job.
Unlike Lena, many of the women I speak to see sex work as a stopgap before moving on to better things.
I'm not gonna arrive here 50 years old to be in the window and to live only for 50 euro to eat, you know. And, you know, I want a family, I want to do normal life, you know, to have a kids, to have a house, normal house, to stay normal, you know.
Sex work is a demanding job, and it often comes with a personal cost.
Yeah, I can only work like 1 day, or I have a maximum of 10 hours a week. That's my maximum. Maybe because it's just because I'm giving so much in my work and I only have so much energy, you know, to spend. In my experience, I cannot give them what they need, the boyfriend, you know? My work comes first. And in the end, I only hurt people.
sex work can also be physically demanding, as the women are working with their bodies. If you've got a problem with your health, where do you go to sort it out?
To the doctor. Yeah, I have. It's here also one summer cabinet where you go for the girl from the red light. I know you don't pay nothing there, and they give you all the health. Or if you want, you go your private or your own doctor. You know.
And this is the P&G. So we started it in 2008, and we have a lot of different kind of things that we are doing here. We have different kind of projects like courses in Dutch, also computer courses, but also a lot of women have a lot of questions about getting help here.
We do the whole sexual health consulting hours, so not only STI testing, but also if they have other problems with, or they want to start with contraceptive, or they have other issues with their body, we can help them with it. Yeah.
Are health checks standard or mandatory for sex work?
No, they're not mandatory. No, they're not. But our advice is, we advise the girls to come every 3 months if everything is going okay. If there's someone HIV positive, that's rarely happens, really. We have been working here for over 2 years, and it only happened once. We asked the girl to come here. There are less sexual or STIs with prostitutes or girls who work for money. There are a lot of less STIs than just other regular young people. They work a lot safer. They have sexual contact a lot safer than other people do.
P&G also produces reports on prostitution for the government.
So they want to know what's going on in this world. And everybody wants to know how many women are working forced into prostitution here in Amsterdam. Because it gives also reason to close everything or to leave it like this. So they really hired a very official bureau who was going to do the research how many women are working forced into prostitution. And the result is that they said between 10% and 90% is working forced into prostitution. But that's it's really difficult to say something about that kind of statistics, because of course they couldn't find it out, because the women are not going to tell them when they get interviewed. Oh yes, I'm working forced, but so it's such a difficult area to really get statistics on. But I think they wanted to make the trafficking and the forced prostitution more visible. And I think it worked out. It worked out that it's more visible. Only the problem is, if you make it visible, then you should act.
One of the ways the city is acting is to close down prostitution windows under Project 1012, a change plan named after the area's postcode. One of the women affected is Maria. She's worked in the same room in a small alleyway in the heart of the red light district for over 20 years. Her whole street is earmarked for closure within the next 6 months, and in a panic, she's decided to find a new window ahead of the move, in House 59.
Los clientes son diferentes aquí.
Diferentes, sí.
¿Cómo?
Uno le dice 50, menos. Y por eso no estoy consiguiendo.
It's not going well, mainly because Maria's new room receives very little passing trade. In the alleyways she's used to, there are more tourists and occasional visitors, whereas the girls in House 59 tend to see regular customers. With no passing trade and no regular customers, Maria's livelihood is at risk. Prostitution has been legal in the Netherlands for over a decade, but now the city authorities want to close hundreds of windows.
It's our city heart. It's a very old city heart. It's with a structure that is very, it's unusual. It's so special of Amsterdam, so we want to have it back as our city center with legal prostitution in the areas.
The city's change plans are bad for business for Maria, so I go along to the yearly public meeting to find out more.
Ik hou van deze buurt, u houdt van deze buurt, heel Amsterdam houdt van deze buurt, heel Nederland houdt van deze buurt. We hebben er allemaal een mening over, dus het gaat echt ergens over. Er komen zo...
Ludwig Ascher is the charismatic frontman of Project 1012, known for his view that the red light district should be controlled and even shut down. He believes up to 90% of women there are forced.
Hello.
Hello.
Please excuse me, my Dutch is not as good as your English, I'm sure.
That's right.
I raise the point that in my experience, not all of them are.
How can you tell?
I speak to them.
How many of them?
Lots,
How do you know they trust you?
because they talk to me.
Well,
Asher doesn't trust what I'm saying, preferring his own statistics.
because any serious research on the issue puts the number, the estimate, at between 10, 20 to 90%.
To 90%? Are you idiot?
Perhaps I am, I'm just quoting research.
As a former professor of information law, Asher should know his figures are weak.
But you know, as an educated person, that research findings that present figures between 10 and 90% aren't conclusive.
Well, we come from a tradition where a picture is painted that for sure isn't accurate. That's a picture of the heavy hooker. That's a picture that Holland is superior in the way of regulating and dealing with prostitution. The success that we have claimed, the success over legalization, is just not true. So I think there's an even larger danger in sticking to our collective lie that everything is under control and everything is perfect, and that the smile you see is telling you something about the way the woman is feeling.
Asher justifies closing down windows with these moral arguments and the claim that it will reduce forced prostitution. His views have gained strong public support.
How can you address Mr. Asher like that?
It's a valid question. Why
Yes, I can imagine a valid question.
Why have
You can ask any question, any stupid question, because you're a journalist, that's it.
You think it's
Just
a stupid
get it.
question?
Yeah, very.
Why do you think it's a
No,
stupid question?
I'm sorry. I mean, you should have done your research.
Do you think it's a stupid question?
You were the one who talked English. I found it very good what you said.
Thank you.
I was very happy with the way you talked to this very stupid man who talks about 90%. He's crazy.
Most people that are here are people that live in the area that don't like prostitution. I don't feel safe here. I feel safer on the street than here.
The issue that's causing so much controversy is sex trafficking.
How do you get all the information? You talk, because the people who are forced, you never see them, and they're not also always working here. They're working in the back, they're working somewhere else.
Sex trafficking is still a big problem in the Netherlands, even 10 years on from legalization.
It's a huge problem, but it is also huge because the Netherlands put a lot of effort into it. And trafficking in human beings is a sort of crime that you have to find. And if you're not looking, you will not find it and you will have no problem. Whatever way or form you give to the prostitution in your country, don't think that it'll go away when you abolish it, because it doesn't. It just goes underground.
It's very difficult to know exactly how many women in the red light district are forced, because it's a hidden crime. A network of traffickers exists to lure the women into a life of exploitation.
It's very difficult because you have different forms, but what you often hear is that it's quite a friendly relationship, or at least in the beginning. Could be anyone, could be a family member, could be even an official, some called official agency, like an au pair agency. From then you see that once they come to the country of destination, they're handed to someone else, or they're introduced to someone else who then takes over.
It's a very nasty problem, but I'm baffled as to how closing down the windows will help. Surely the high-tech world of window regulation makes it easier to detect.
Yes, I would say that the window prostitution, like in Navala, is easier because it is more easy to check. Easier than escort service or massage parlors or nail studios or all other forms of prostitution that are under another cover, so to speak.
208 more windows are set to close in Amsterdam. The legal age for prostitution is rising from 18 to 21, and The Hague is introducing new registration passes to help combat sex trafficking. When the alleyways close down, many women will face an uncertain future. Prostitution customer Tom fears the worst for the women.
I have heard, and that's very sad, that girl told me, my friend, what she calls friend, says, I will hire a flat in the Bijlmer, then you can work there, and I will arrange for your customers.
Why do you think it's bad?
Well, now they can choose, at least they can choose a fine and safe place to work, and then they will, I'm afraid that they will work illegally, and they have to accept every customer that their pimp offers. And now they can refuse at a certain level. The girls who work there, they don't want to be on the canal. Everybody filming them, and especially Dutch girls, they never will go on the canal because they are very afraid that they will be on YouTube or whatever on the internet. And when they later on want to do a normal job, that's the boss will, hey, I've seen a movie from you, aha.
If you close red light and the smoke, who come here? Because I suppose nobody of these young people, the English, also the young people between 20 and 30 years old, nobody say, come on, we go to Amsterdam to see Rembrandt House or some museum or something like this. No. Come on, we go to red light, we go to smoke, we have the freedom in Amsterdam.
If you had to move, where would you go?
I don't know, it's difficult. I don't want to go because I used to be here. I like this room and I worked for many years in this room and I feel like my room, you know?
The move to House 59 is still going badly for Maria, who has no regular customers and no passing trade.
Que me está yendo malísimo y me siento nerviosa y que quería volver a mi habitación porque ayer, ¿te entiendes? No me concentro nada, dolor de cabeza, no duermo bien con esta situación. Entonces vine para acá y es mamá. Entonces ella es la dueña y ella le dice a la chica, tan sorry, que María se puso un poco nerviosa y por eso la entregó, pero yo quiero regresar. Tú le explicas, por favor.
I talked to Jacqueline at the office on Maria's behalf, and I discover she's got good news.
From Sunday you can have the other room, your old room back again.
Yeah? Ay, Julia, tú hablaste con ella. No he entrado el primero. Mira, me cambié.
Maria returns to her old room, where she's worked for the last 20 years.
Ahora has estado aquí por 3 días, ¿no?
Hola,
Tom. Hello.
Hello.
I'm Maria.
Ja, I know Maria.
Do you know her?
Yeah.
How weird to see you here. We just...
I don't lie.
You're back here?
Yeah, my house.
Yeah, it's true, but only 1.5 year.
Ja, maar ik kom bij.
Was not good in Monnikenstraat. Was not nice in Monnikenstraat.
No,
For now, Maria's livelihood is safe. But in 6 months' time, she'll have to move again.
No one was coming, not busy enough.
No.
Around the corner from Maria's alleyway is the Prostitute Information Centre, run by ex-sex worker Mariska Major, who's been a powerful voice for sex worker rights for 20 years.
But my most important goal is to inform the general public about sex work, because they're the ones that keep the stigma on sex work alive. I stepped into the sex industry years ago without thinking. I needed money to buy a dog. A German Shepherd, a very expensive one. I mean, that was my goal, and I reached my goal the same day that I started to work.
Following her experience of sex work as a young woman, Mariska became a central figure in the politics of prostitution. She was also at the public meeting, and she's openly critical of the city's plans.
They have thought this over very well. Like, what can we do to get an approval out of society for our project? So, well, let's focus on human trafficking, because that's something that nobody wants. And I think what they're actually doing is creating a much bigger stigma on sex work.
Do you think the stigma will ever leave sex work?
Well, I hope people will get back to the first thought they had around 2000. You know, that they're able to see the difference between sex work and trafficking, and that they will learn to accept and respect sex workers for who they are, like human beings, just like them.
Mariska is one of the few people willing to demand respect for sex workers in society.
The word whore, you know, a whore is a bad person. And I think somebody that works in the sex industry is not a bad person. So I don't want people to call sex workers whores. You know, almost every human being, I guess, is brought up with the idea that sex is something you only do in a relationship. So even if your brains or your own emotions are telling you something different, that you're okay with this, and you have fun in a window and you make lots of money, and you're critical with choosing your customers, you don't lose your self-respect, you know, you make all the choices yourself and you're a real happy hooker. You still have your DNA, so you still have, how I call it, that damn voice in the back of your mind that is telling you, you cannot fool me, you know, you're still a dishonorable woman.
Since leaving sex work 20 years ago, Mariska has become a well-known public figure and successful businesswoman without denying her past.
You know, you have these phases in life, and most people, if they think back about what they did years ago, they will have different or mixed feelings about it. That's just how things go. And this is how things went with me, and I never had any regrets about this. People, you know, make sex workers into victims. I really hate that. I really, really hate that. It's terrible, you know, if people make you into a victim, like, oh, you poor girl, why you don't, you know, have any problem with it yourself. People should not do that.
In 2007, Mariska commissioned the bronze statue of a proud prostitute called Belle to stand in the heart of the red light district, in the very area the city plans to cleanse of all windows.
I wanted to, you know, make a more permanent statement. You know, you can write books and publish magazines or do all kinds of projects and things, but you know, it always, it stops, it ends, it goes away. Bell is the greatest thing I ever did. Telling the world, like, I'm a prostitute. So what?
Darling, it's not that easy to be smart, but somebody has to do that job also.
Yeah.
Look!
my mind and I don't care. Express myself with a devil's stare.
Oi.
I tell you, 'cause I'm
Ooh.
no angel. Play with me, you play with fire, 'cause I should come with a warning sign. Oh, baby.
Got some jokes.
I didn't wanna be daddy's.
Again, you failed me. I said, I'm gonna do it myself. And I go out and sit on the toilet and I'm getting myself together. Because this is so funny.
Who's a bad girl now?
How things work in life to constantly analyze yourself and what's happening around you. And therefore you must have discussions with your inner voice all the time.
Now you sound like a spiritual guru.
Whoa, no, I think it's enough.
We go down. You'll be writing a self-help book.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, how to start understanding yourself in a window brothel. Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'm no angel. I didn't wanna be daddy's girl. I played the part for too long. I never wanted to be that way. I just wanna have fun. Who's a bad girl now? I'm such a bad girl. Who's a bad girl now? I'm such a bad girl. Who's a bad girl?